Hey everyone, welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Today we are putting on our hard hats and grabbing our toolboxes because, well, it's finally time to assemble your complete DeFi lending and derivatives machine. This explainer covers the absolute ultimate milestone, your Capstone integration guide and deliverable. So you've spent this entire module manufacturing all the individual parts, right? You've machined the gears, wired up the circuitry, and drafted the blueprints. But the real question is, are you actually ready to piece them all together into a beautifully running, humming DeFi engine? Because that is exactly what this capstone is all about. We are taking all your hard work and packaging it up into something real, runnable, and honestly, incredibly robust. Now, we're going to treat this capstone not as some scary, intimidating final exam, but as a structured master blueprint to guide our assembly process. Here is what we're building today. First, gathering your previous blueprints. Second, delivering the final spec. Third, assembling the protocol adapters. Fourth, weighing the integration trade-offs. Fifth, devnet diagnostics and testing. And lastly, next steps, adding oracles. All right, section 1, gathering your previous blueprints. Before we start tightening bolts, let's just look at the parts we already have scattered on the garage floor. Think about the journey you've been on in this Solana ecosystem track. This capstone pulls absolutely everything together. You started with scoping and architecture. Then you moved into SDK design. And just in our previous lesson, we covered UI and user flows for lending and derivatives. Today, all of those separate artifacts, the UI screenshots, the transaction logic, the account models, they all flow directly into this final capstone deliverable. Okay, moving on to section 2, delivering the final spec. Let's look closely at the schematics to see the exact acceptance criteria required for this project. Your final submission can't just be a zip file of random code. It needs to be a pristine repository. It must contain at least 2 working protocol adapters, say adapter A and adapter B. It requires runnable code examples for depositing, borrowing, and yield optimization, plus automated tests that run against the devnet and a comprehensive technical guide documenting your integration patterns. If it's missing even one of these gears, the engine just isn't going to turn over. And here is the crucial point: design for reproducibility. This is literally the golden rule of your capstone. If a reviewer, or really any other developer, clones your repo, they should be able to run your devnet examples from scratch. Zero manual handholding required. That means your setup scripts have to handle test tokens and PDAs automatically. Think of it kind of like an IKEA manual, right? If they follow the steps, they get the exact same bookshelf every single time. All right, section 3, assembling the protocol adapters. With the spec fully understood, it's time to grab our wrenches and assemble the core of your machine. The real magic here lies in the adapter pattern. This is what makes your application incredibly flexible. By using a shared SDK interface, whether you are plugging your app into Protocol A or Protocol B, your front end relies on the exact same structural standard. You don't have to rewrite your entire app just because a new lending protocol launches on Solana. You just write a new adapter that fits the same universal plug. Both of your adapters have to export this precise interface. We're talking about standard functions here: initialize, deposit, borrow, repay, harvest, and fetch position. When you standardize this, integrators can interchangeably call these functions without worrying about all the messy protocol-specific plumbing happening under the hood. It keeps your transaction composition layer super clean. Now here's a fancy engineering word that is absolutely vital: idempotent. Your deposit and borrow functions must be idempotent transactions. What does that actually mean? Well, think of a light switch on your wall. Flipping a switch up turns the light on. Flipping it up 10 more times still just leaves the light on without blowing the bulb or setting the house on fire, right? In Web3, if a transaction partially fails and your code retries it, it should safely produce the exact same logical state without double charging the user or crashing the program. Section 4, weighing the integration trade-offs. Let's see how this shapes your architectural decisions, because every engineering choice has physical trade-offs. Much like an architect's comparing structural materials for a bridge, you have to articulate the pros and cons of your approaches. Your documentation must include an analysis comparing a direct adapter, a unified wrapper SDK, or an atomic batch. You need to tell the reviewer exactly when to use each pattern, what the benefits are, and, what the hidden costs might be. For instance, a direct adapter minimizes your PDA complexity. It's just simpler, fewer accounts to juggle. On the flip side, an atomic batch bundles multiple instructions into a single user action, creating a beautiful, seamless user experience. But that incredible UX comes at the direct cost of highly difficult retry semantics when transactions fail and potentially larger fee spikes. Your Capstone deliverable must explicitly cite which SDK functions or UI flows are impacted by these specific trade-offs. Okay, Section 5, DevNet Diagnostics and Testing. Once the engine is assembled, we can't just ship it blindly. We must run rigorous DevNet diagnostics first. You're going to verify your milestone completion through 6 exact checkpoints. You'll move from a simple directory sanity check and DevNet setup straight through to automated testing and ultimately conclude with a polished 3-minute demo. Please pay close attention to this tiny, often forgotten number, 0.5. During your automated setup, you absolutely must ensure your DevNet script funds the test payer account with a minimum balance, like 0.5 Sol. I can't tell you how many tests fail intermittently simply because the test wallet ran out of gas fees. Don't let your beautifully engineered engine stall out just because you forgot to put test fuel in the tank. And when your examples run, they cannot be silent. Your runnable examples must print out concrete, human-readable diagnostics to the console. We want to see finalized transaction signatures, the RPC responses, and crucially, a clear summary table showing the before and after token balances. If I deposit 100 tokens, the log better clearly show my balance dropping by 100 and my protocol position increasing. As you might have experienced in other learning programs across Forge College, the true mark of a master Web3 engineer is building observable systems. Look, anyone can build a smart contract that works perfectly when the network is empty, but designing integrations that gracefully handle partial failures and actually print enough data so they can be debugged in the wild, that is what separates the novices from the professionals. Finally, Section 6, Next Steps, Adding Oracles. With your DeFi engine now running perfectly on the DevNet, it's time to peek around the corner at the next major component. Your very next upgrade in this track will be integrating reliable off-chain price feeds using Pyth and Switchboard. These oracles are absolutely vital because without accurate, real-time price data, a derivatives or lending platform simply cannot manage its risk. So before diving into that next module, I want you to review your current Capstone codebase. Really ask yourself exactly where these new off-chain oracle inputs will inject into your system. Where are they going to alter your liquidation mathematics? Where will they change your margin calculations? Anticipating these structural hook points right now is going to make your next build significantly easier. And that completes our explainer on the integration guide deliverable. You have absolutely everything you need to assemble, test, and document your DeFi app. To explore more about this subject, dive into advanced oracles and discover an incredible library of other Web3-related topics, make sure to visit forge.college. Now that you hold the blueprints, the real question is, what kind of unstoppable financial machine are you going to build next? I'll see you on the next build.